Okay. Yep, it's noon. Let's get this show on the road. Okay. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Claylick Creek Pottery. My name's Karen Fiorino, and I've run this pottery. This is my studio, and I've been doing maiolica pottery for the past 20 years, plus years. First, I also want to thank Stacy and Tim for getting this all organized and making this all possible. And I am from Makanda, Illinois, so that's in southern Illinois. I'm about an hour and a half south of St. Louis. So here's Chicago, here's the state of Illinois. Here's Chicago, and Carbondale, Makanda is right there. I'm about 6 miles south of Carbondale. And yes, it is warm here. It's actually too warm. I turned off the heat in the studio, and yeah, it's sweating. It's very humid. Okay, to get started here. Basically, my process is maiolica. And what I do, I start with a basic, I throw everything, by the way. I start with a basic red earthenware clay body. I bisfire it to 004. I put a white base glaze on, and I'll just show you this. Here's the white base glaze on it. And then I fire it again at 005. And after the decoration, it comes in like this. And I like using a very a glossy maiolica glaze. There's many different recipes out there. I'm not going to give you my recipe because it's in flux right now because I've got some issues going on, and so you can change it. There's information out there, and you can just pick and choose what kind of glaze fits your body. Okay. So anyway, so once I set it overnight, I went ahead. So once I set it overnight, the white base glaze, then I set it overnight, then I do my decorating. And what I do is I use mason stains, which is a colorant, and I use a mixture of 1:1 or 1:2, depending on the stain and what kind of effect I want. 1 part mason stain to 1 to 2 parts frit, and my frit I'm using is 3124, and that's basically one of my main ingredients in my base maiolica glaze. So yesterday, because I know it was going to take time, I did the back of this piece here, and now I'm going to do the front, and I'm going to move the camera here, and there comes Pyra, my dog. And if you can see, I do pencil lines. So here, let's get started. And I'm going to pop this down, and you should be able to see everything there. Okay, let's get started. Okay, basically what I do is I use a pencil, and I sketch what's going on my design here. And this design I'm going to do, since it's almost Easter, I'm going to use my 3 rabbits, 3 bunnies sitting on a hillside, and their backs are to you. And this is a design that my mom taught me, one of my first designs that I ever learned how to do. My mom taught me this one. And what I'm going to do is put some carrots here. And so I can see my computer, and I'll try to answer questions as they come up. And if I don't answer your question, maybe someone else can, or I'll go back and look at all the replies and such. So I got all my colorants over here. I made this plan. I have to mix up some stuff here, and I'm going to do this a little differently than I normally do. Okay. Put that over here. I use just regular bamboo, let me see, where is it? I just use some bamboo brushes, nothing special. I'm going to start out by making pink little tails there. And then I'm going to make the carrots here. Whoa, that's too, I gotta be careful. And then I am going to do, I think this color. I have different colors of green that I use. I mix some of my own mason stains. The base glaze is a maiolica glaze. It's of my own recipe. Nope, it's not slip. It's white glaze. It's a maiolica glaze. I put that on, and then yeah, because this is totally different. It's not an underglaze. I'm not going to put a clear glaze on top of this. I'm going to just fire it. And because there is the frit within the stain and the same frit in the base glaze, it all fuses into one layer. So I can see there's going to be a lot of questions, and I'm going to miss some things. Okay. Pinch your screen in a bit. I don't know what you mean about that. Pinch my screen in for a bit. Lower? I got a light on here. I can't go too low. That's as low as I can go because I got a light sitting on my thing. How's that? That's as low as I can go on there. Okay. And I'm going to do a light blue turquoise on there. Is it? Nope, I use 1:1 or 1:2. Yes, the frit is the flux. It helps melt everything. I got it. I think it went down. Okay, so I'm going to just mix some more here. And this is quite interesting because I'm getting on my business page, I had more non-technical questions. I even told them that I'll be doing more technical questions and answers here. I'll answer the best I can. And with this glazing technique, basically every brush stroke is seen. If I make a big goof up, I make a big goof up, and it's hard to fix. So you kind of got to be fearless about it and not worry about making a mistake or anything. My hand's shaking because I'm nervous, I guess. That shouldn't be. I do this all the time. You have to use more than... Nope! Well, you can. Okay. And I'll do some later on. I can overlay colors. If I want, I can make it as dark or as light as I want, and it usually depends on the amount of water that is inside my brush. And right now I'm kind of going light just because that's what I want to do. Yellow. I'm going to get some light yellow on this one. On yours. Yes, there is a problem with pinholes. What I do when I bisfire it, I hold it at... I want to say 800 degrees for an hour, and that burns out the organic matter that's inside the clay. Sometimes I do get well, it's not pinholes really, it's like white dots that you get in, and it's the glaze, what I understand, bubbling through the white, and it's boiling. If you compress the clay really good before you bisfire it, it seems like that helps. But it's like it's hard to master because it does weird things sometimes, and you got to really figure it out. And right now, because I had an issue with the clay, the bis clay was not absorbing the glaze at the same rate, I was getting all these weird bubbles in it itself, and I had to add bentonite to my recipe. That's why it's like my recipe just keeps changing around all the time. Okay, now I'm going to add some black. Usually I wait until I have more, but since there's people watching and such, I'm just going to go ahead and start outlining things. And this brush I'm using is just a bamboo brush, another bamboo brush that's been worn down. No, I do not have grog in my clay, very little. See the one? Yeah, I think I did put that on there, this one here. It was a small bowl, and I decided to make a big one of this one, this design. Oh, you know what, I goofed up that. Oh, no, it goes this way. Okay, here we go. Okay. What do I want to do here? Actually, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do these other lines. Okay, now, I just use a compass when I do my design work. And this is going to be all like a mandala design, and I'm just going to play it by ear, how I want to do this. Sometimes I know what I'm going to do, and sometimes I don't. It all depends on my mood. And so the graphite just burns out, which is just wonderful. And also, when you use a pencil, use a B, an HB, or like a B4. You know, all the B sounds. Uh-oh. Did I do something silly? Because it's softer. If you use an H and an H4 and higher, it'll really dig into your glaze. So yeah, this just takes time because it's just very repetitive, sort of meditative. Here's the compass. It's a normal cheapo compass. They are food safe. This is all food safe. Well, that's a common question when I do shows. People ask me, because it's so decorative looking, they go, you know, they don't want to use it because it's decorative looking, but you can. And I want people to use it because I want them to be happy, and it makes them happy, and it makes me happy that they're happy. So it's like, yeah, I always tell them, yeah, please use it. Okay. And so round and round and round. And originally I had a really awful banding wheel, and just like a couple years ago, 2 years, 3 years ago, I got a new banding wheel. And it's like, I'm going, how did I do this without a decent banding wheel? But I did. Man, this thing is so smooth. It's like a Shimpo or something. Oh yeah, it's a Shimpo. I've been working with maiolica for about 20 plus years. I started taking classes at the university, and one of my friends, I was working at the university, and I made a point of asking, saying I wanted to learn how to do it, and she said, well, you're working civil service. Like I said, I was working at the university. You can do this for free. And at the time I did, and I started taking classes as a unclassified grad student, and I did that for a couple of years back in the, I think, 94, 95, because there's some really old pieces floating around with those dates on it. And yeah, and it just went from there and just was learning from it. And she taught me, and she's my friend. She does great maiolica also up in Duluth. Not too many of us are doing it. Are you drawing with a regular pencil? It's just a regular school pencil, drawing pencil. Okay, what color do I want to do next? It's really weird. These colors, they just look. Let me see. I'm going to count something. I'm going to do something different here. Let me count here. Oh, can't do it. I have an odd number. Where's my pencil there? Okay. I can't do that. Oh, do I want to? No, I don't want to do that color. And see, I get goofy like that. It's like I want to do certain colors, and then something tells me I don't want to do that color. Hey, Jackson. Okay, here we go. We're going to go blue here. Turquoise blue. Okay, so I just went over that blue there again because I knew it was too light, and I wanted to make it a little darker. What are you glazing with? It is a maiolica glaze, base white glaze, and I'm decorating, painting on the raw glaze with mason stains and frit. And so when I fire this, all the pencil lines are going to disappear. Yay! No pencil lines. Okay. My dog just came in again. I think she's just going to sleep. Take time. Okay. Let's do some more so I can show you some more detail work. And I like just layering and layering more and more color and designs on top of the design. More is more for me. Oh, you're quite welcome. Where do I get my inspiration from? Okay, well this one here, this particular one, is a design that my mom taught me when I was a kid, like ages ago. And so, and it's Easter time, and I don't do it very often. And so I decided I'm gonna do that for it. Now I do other things. For inspiration, other inspiration. I'm outside a lot. I see a lot of critters and plants, and that was wrong what I did. Critters and plants and different things. And my background originally is in zoology, so a lot of it comes from that. Of off-the-shelf. Guess what? Amico doesn't make the maiolica glazes anymore. So you have to mix your own. And there is, if you look up Linda Arbuckle, she has a lot on her website, has a lot of glaze recipes that you can use. When I learned it, I just learned how to mix the glazes. She's a sewer, so she's an artist in her own right. She can actually draw really well, but she never followed through with that. But she can sew really good. And all these demos are kind of weird to me because I usually don't talk to myself when I'm doing this. I usually got the music up really loud. I'm listening to music. Okay, so I'm going to do this. More design. Thank you there, Andrea. It's just practice. I do this almost every day. I'm in my studio almost every day working. Okay, let's see what color I want to do next, or what I want to do next. Okay, what I'm going to do here, oh, you can't see really. And I'm not going to hold it over my, oh, this is interesting. I can do this. I'm going to just take a little bit of the not mixed up, it's kind of thick, just with the tip of my brush there. I don't know if you saw that or not. Hey, Leanne. Give a shout out to all of the Etsy Mud Team people that are watching. Whoops, need some more. Okay, so that gives it even more detail. And then I'm going to do the same on the top. See what I mean? It's going to take longer than an hour to finish this. Yay, my team! Yay! Yay! That's done. Okay, so the next color, my favorite color, is purple. But I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to put some pink on it first. What type of, oh, they're just bamboo brushes. They're just relatively inexpensive bamboo brushes. Okay, examples. Thank you very much, Diane. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this crimson just a little bit here. And then on top of that, I'm going to put some purple. And then once it's fired, I'm going to see a little bit of hint of this crimson underneath. Depending if I actually, unless I cover it up with something else. I don't think I plan on it though. I glaze fire to 05. Yeah, pretty much, Lisa, just one coat. But like I say, I can layer these colors, and I know from experience, I know how they're going to work. And I do believe there's going to be another maiolica artist going to be a demo on Sunday. And I'm going to watch her. Maybe I'll learn something new. Because I'm always trying to learn. Even after doing this for so long, I'd like to learn new techniques. Okay. And I'm going to layer another layer here. This is a kind of a darker purple. This pattern has a lot of petals in it. I'll go back to the black. Okay. I don't know, can you hear the birds outside? It's kind of nice having the studio nice and open right now. I can hear everything. Okay, another color. And that color is going to be this really deep one. It's a deep, deep green. I need some more coloring on that. Oh, one more. Almost forgot. Okay. And then I'm going to put some more black on there. I just tuned in. Is there any... I will do some carving in just a moment. I'll do a little sgraffito on here. I just haven't found the right place to put it. Well, I could. I know where I'm going to put it. Okay. Someone asked if there's going to be any carving on there. So what I'm going to do is what I'm doing here is a little sgraffito, and this is a little pointer tool, and I think this came out of a microbiology set. I'm not sure where it came from. Needle tool. And I'm just going not too deep. I'm going through the color, but just going to the white glaze. Now, if I wanted to, I could go deeper and go all the way to the clay, and that would give you a whole different effect. And I just don't want to do it for this. What happens when you add this carving in it, it lends to making it pop more. Okay, where's my pencil at? I guess I'm freehanding this one. Let me think here how I want to do this. Okay. Now, by just drawing that on there, gave me another idea what to do. Can you show how you got? I just did. I'm just drawing with a pencil. And I will post when it's finished. I actually probably post the finished part on here, and then when it's glazed, when it's finished firing, I'll do that too. Okay. Now I'm going to do this. Okay. Okay. And another thing, when you're doing this, you have to, if you're carving into it, you need to make sure you do it the same day, because it gets too dry and it gets really hard to carve back through if you don't do it right away while it's still wet. I don't get here at the beginning. No, it's not, Leanne. It's not green. It's bisque. And then if you do it for long enough, you just learn all kinds of tricks how to do it because it has different characteristics. But I noticed that I do have to carve back like the same day or like within the hour because it gets too dry. Okay, now light green. It's kind of cool watching me do this in lag time when I look at my laptop. And I chose these two colors together. Can you tell us about my brush? The brush is a simple bamboo brush that I've picked up either at an art supply store or at my supplier. It's just a little, I don't know, can you see that? It's just a little bamboo brush. The one I use for black is worn down to the perfect tip, and I always got to keep another one in rotation. I only use that small tip one for black because it just wore down perfectly for a nice fine line. Does that answer your question there? I mean, it's nothing, it's not a special brush at all. It's always worked for me. After a certain point, they get bad and I have to get new ones because they just totally wear out. But they're fairly inexpensive. And if I do find them, like on sale or something, I'll buy them in bulk so I have them forever, or a lot, for a long time. Or I always have them on hand. Duh. Come on, Karen. Okay, I'm going to get this done so I can do another layer of black and then I can carve back through another piece. Obviously this pattern has a lot of little petals in it that I did. It's not an underglaze, it's a mason stain frit mixture. Maiolica is not an underglaze technique, it's an overglaze technique. Okay, got almost there. I made small patterns on this one. See, I didn't know what I was going to do until I started doing it. Here comes Pyra again. The little click, click, click of toenails. Please elaborate. Okay. Okay. Well, I really don't do underglaze. A lot of people do. Underglaze is when you use a specific type of material called an underglaze, and you put that on top of your green and or bisque work. Okay, what I do is an overglaze, because the white base that I have is a glaze already. And then I put over it, I brush on the raw glaze, the colorants, and a frit. And it's in a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 part combination. Okay, so then when it's fired, because the frit in my colorant solution has the 3124, which is one of the main ingredients in my recipe for the white glaze, whenever it's fired, it all fuses into one layer. So it's a complete glaze. Does that help out? Does that make any sense to you? I know it can be confusing because there's not that many maiolica artists out there doing this. Okay. Okay, let's put some black on it. So I have so many minutes. I have less than 15 minutes. Okay. You got any other questions here at this end? I can try to answer this. Yes, but can I do this? I don't know. Amico, I don't know what companies still make maiolica glazes. I know Amico discontinued theirs, saying that I've always mixed my own, so I never bought the commercial. I shouldn't say that. I did buy some commercial, and I did use it a little bit, but I really didn't like how it worked. I like these, I like my combination much better. Is there a white glaze raw? It's raw right now, and then I put the stain on top. Okay, I'll tell you what, I am going to, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back, and this is what I was going to do here. Yeah, see, I'm not going to be able to finish this in my allotted time at all. The stain on top, is that a glaze? Yes, in a way it is a glaze, because it does have a frit in it, which is a glass agent, and it's the main ingredient in the base white glaze. So it is in essence a glaze, or yeah, it is in essence a glaze. Okay, now while I'm sitting here, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I was going to do. Whoa, there was some other stuff I was going to do here. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I'm just carving back on this one. And I like doing this on this design. Little feathering design.